the company that made this TV. Okay, we're live.
And this is
How we do
it on the Donna Smith Show. On the Donna Smith Show. And this is how we do it. And this is how we do it. On the Donna Smith Show. On the Donna Smith Show. Yes, yes. We are live. We are live. We are live and in effect. Uh-oh. Got it. I'm sorry, grown folks. I'm sorry. We here. Welcome to the Donna Smith Show Tape Talk. It is 8:03 p.m. and we are a little behind ourselves, but I'm telling y'all, a girl still jet lagged. I don't know what kind of lag I'm on right now, but I am like still struggling. Okay. But I want to welcome everyone to the show this evening. Thank you, JJ and Cardell, for being present this evening. We've had a couple of cancellations of the show prior to my vacation and everything, but I am going to be back on track. Next week, though, I just want to say ahead of time, the show will be on a Monday because I do have to work on Sunday, and I'll be getting home a little too late to be able to do the show. So it will be definitely Monday. I'll try to remind you guys again before we get off the show tonight. So I just want to say that a reminder that anything that we talk about and discuss tonight or anytime we do the show is not meant to offend anyone. We have grown folk dialogue and table talk. We welcome your comments. We are live streaming here on YouTube as well. So please hit the chat. Let us know what you think. If you got something to add, share the video with whomever. We do appreciate you. I want to thank you again for being a part of what we do. If something is not settling well with you, just hang on. We'll end up talking about something that's going to truly entertain you or tickle your fancy, as they would say. And the old folks would say, tickle your fancy some kind of way. So with that being said, welcome to the Donna Smith Show Table Talk this evening. And before we get started, we do want to, what did we forget, y'all? Have our host to the hostess. Yeah. Oh, man. I got my wine on chill. And I can't get up and run downstairs and get it, y'all.
It's in the freezer?
Yeah.
I would go and get it. Well, say once it starts to crystallize, it's bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would go and get it. We can hold it down while you go get it.
While I go run and get it. Wait a minute. Y'all could just pretty much what I want you to do is
let's tell them real quick and then you can run and go get it. Because you don't want that to freeze.
Yeah, I left it in there. I'm getting ready to run and go get it. But I'd like for you guys to maybe share some good stuff, something that you've been doing this week. Okay? And I'll be right back. Stay tuned. I wish we can go to commercial break, but we can't.
No, I wish we could go to commercial break too. It's all good. I've been working on some projects just to keep busy, especially in this heat. I'm glad I work from home and I don't have to go outside. This heat is a lot. I don't be misled. I just wore this hoodie for fashion, but I got my air conditioner on. I got 2 fans on me at the same time. But if I didn't have these, it got up there today. But it was quite nice. I like to go out in it every once in a while and enjoy myself and just see what people are doing. People are out and about in it. In Colorado, when it's cold weather, you don't see a lot of people out. You see people only out when it's necessary. So when it's summertime, it's just kids are out playing and riding their scooters and people walking their dogs. It's just the neighborhood is busy. It's always action going on. And I think that's kind of cool to see that.
Well, you're lucky in that sense because here in where I'm at, Sacramento, California, the weather has been calm compared to what it was in the month of July.
Okay.
Right now, in our time, it's about 8 o'clock out here on the West Coast, but it's about maybe 82 degrees and sunny. But for the last 3 or 4 weeks have been 100 plus easy. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's been quite warm, quite warm. So when you talk about the air conditioner, I concur. So, but the biggest thing is that when the temperatures gets to be 100 degrees out here on the West Coast, that's not normal.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
Now
not
hold
normal
that
for
right quick, and
y'all.
then you can pick back up. Click, clack, clank, clank.
Clink, clink.
Yeah. It's chilly now.
yeah, especially when it's consecutive days back to back. So, but other than that, things been pretty good. But still, yeah, we have challenges out here in California like everybody else does. So,
So while I was gone for 8 days, I didn't hear what JJ was saying, but I was gone for 8 days. Were you guys still at 100-degree weather out here, Callie?
yeah, we averaged about 2 days of 100-degree the weather in that time. The lowest it may have gotten to be about 75 at night, but the average about 95 normally if you want to cover the 8 days, about 95 degrees.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So it was still pretty cool. I mean, because I know when I left, we was baking. We was baking with it. So I was just wondering how it was, and everything. JJ, what's going on with you too?
Yeah, I was just to reiterate, I was talking about how the weather has gotten really heated out here, but it's not as bad as California and the dirty South, because it's the way the jet stream is. It has y'all, I wish I had a diagram to show y'all. I'm not a weatherman, but it looks from what I'm seeing. I watch the news in the Bay Area and in Florida.
We have
And just like get a contrast, and it's pretty bad. The oceans aren't supposed to be as warm as they are. Coral reefs are dying in the Atlantic area because they said that the water temperature was at 100 degrees, which is a little bit hotter than an actual hot tub, which is baffling to me. I've never heard of that. So a lot of environmental stuff going on. But at the same time, in Arizona and the desert-like areas in Southern California, they're dealing with desert-like temperatures. But for myself, it's not as bad, but the temperatures are up there. It's like in the early 90s at the most out here in Colorado.
In Colorado,
there might be some pockets. Yeah, there might be some pockets that get up to 100 degrees, but it looks like y'all are going through it. Because y'all had a couple of weeks that were cool, and I was like, okay, y'all, dealing with the 50s and stuff, but then that shot right up immediately, and I'm like, oh, that's to see that.
Yeah, California has been really, and it makes you at more at risk in certain areas for fires and stuff, So, and then when the winds start roaring. I know while I was gone, there was a power outage. I did get alerted. It was a power outage in my area.
I got an alert too.
And and I hate when those occur because it seems like everything goes down. You have to reset everything. But it's definitely it's worrisome somewhat. I mean, we knew that we were going to have a pretty warm summer, due to our winter lingering so long. But
that's true. Our winter did hold on long.
Yeah, we do get at risk for earthquakes and stuff when, you know, we have a shift, and that's what's so scary. Um, and you know, everywhere I went on my cruise, it was warm everywhere. You know, in Florida, of course, and I believe when we were in the Bahamas too, you know, it's warm out, it's humid, and then it starts to rain on you.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
I was where you went. I didn't know where you went.
yeah, I went to Bahamas, and
Okay,
I went to Jamaica,
that's awesomeness.
and I went to Cozumel, Mexico, and I went to Grand Cayman.
So which cruise line was
And I went to Florida also. We did Florida as well. I was on the Celebrity Equinox. I went through Blue World Travel Festival of Sea, the all black entertainment cruise every year that they give in July. It was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Awesome. The entertainment was so wonderful. Jodeci was supposed to be there. They didn't come, but Charlie Wilson was there. Lettucey was
Okay.
there. Kim was there. Oh man, David Winans was there. The entertainment was just awesome. We had the talent, the African American talent show. We had the bachelor auction where the men get up there and you know the women are auctioning for a date with them, and you know they
Okay.
there and strut their stuff. It was a lot of interesting. The big fashion, the African Wakanda fashion show that they had. And so it just was really, really awesome. It's wonderful to see our people of color come together and have just such a wonderful time and to go and see the world, you know, wherever they think every year is somewhere different. And you do have, you know, other races that do come along. The majority is African Americans. And the entertainment is African Americans. And it's just awesome. I mean, but you do need a vacation away from vacation. When you come back, you just be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because you know, and then a few times you have all this wonderful food. For those of you who have cruised before, you have just about everything. And you want to try different things and you can eat around the clock. And, you know, sometimes your system kind of goes through a shock of what is this? I don't like that, you know, and it needs to come, you know, without me being so PMI, but you go through that moment where everything just, I can't do this, you know. So, but it's a lot of interesting good food to try, um and you do get used to eating so many times a day if you like. And so when you come home, you kind of go through this withdrawal of, okay, reality is here. I don't eat 6 times a day when I'm at home.
Right.
Oh, your stomach is saying, I want something because you used to having something, but it's like, wait a minute. So now you got to get back on your even ground, you know. But it was real cool. And I took a lot of, you know, quite a few excursions. And now the airline, I must say, it was a little better than it was last year. Last year was delays and cancellations, and it was a hot mess. It was delays this time. As a matter of fact, I did a red eye flying to Florida that Friday night, and was going to make it there in the morning. And the plane I was on, we were supposed to leave at like 11 p.m. or something like that. The plane started having, like, before it took off, it started having some engine issues.
Oh, wow.
Just making noises, not doing right, whatever. So they sent the mechanic staff over while we were on the plane sitting there like, what's going on? And so finally, after they went over whatever the issue was, found out that, nope, can't fly this plane, which I thank God we found out before we got in the air. Okay.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like we can't fly this plane. So everybody had to get off that plane. They had to get all the luggage off that plane. Then we had to go over to the next gate or two, wait on that plane to come because it was still trying to fly in. Wait for them to get that plane emptied out, cleaned up, put our luggage on that plane, and go. So there was like almost a 2 hour delay.
So
Oh,
which
wow.
airline was this?
This was United.
Okay.
Oh,
No
wow.
pun intended. When I flew back, it was American, and that was less. I think it was a little bit of. I had a connecting flight, which I hate connecting flights, but in this case, I connected. I connected in Charlotte.
Okay.
So the first flight from Florida was a little behind. So then when we got to Charlotte, I was scared I was gonna miss the connecting flight, but that one was behind too. So it just and one thing I will say, rule of thumb, because the stewardess told us one thing getting off the plane. Your connecting flight is gonna be at gate whatever, 9999. Okay. All right, thank you, Miss Stewardess. We appreciate it. So you hustling. And then you need to pay attention to those screens. All those screens they have throughout the
That's true.
airport that tell you about your flight because in the midst of walking to where I thought I was supposed to go, I look at the screen and I say, my flight is nowhere near what she said. It was on a whole nother gate way across on the other side. Charlotte has a huge airport.
Wow.
So it was all the way on the other side. So if you don't pay attention, you would have went to the gate you was instructed and you can miss your plane like that.
Yeah.
You can get tripped up. So you got to pay attention to those and get the app on your phone. You know, my app, when I finally did look at my phone, it did say there was a gate change, you know.
Yep, I've had that happen to me. I never experienced that before, and nobody ever told me about it. I just had to wing it. And they eventually, I was in Las Vegas, and they ended up calling my name on the intercom because I couldn't find my gate. So
They was looking for you before they
they was
took
looking
off.
for me. They knew I was there because I had just left another flight. So they knew I was there. So
yeah, that's kind of scary when they announce your name over the big speaker.
It was like JJ Shepherd, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
So it's just, the airport in itself could be, and you're tired. You want to get home. Especially I did an excursion because I'm off the boat at 7 something, 8 in the morning. My flight wasn't leaving until 5:30 in the evening. So instead of sitting at the airport all day, I did an excursion in Florida, which was like a 4 hour long touristy thing and boat thing and all that. And it killed a little time. But it's when you're booking these flights and you're trying to jive it with so you won't miss your boat. And you can't fly in right before the boat is ready to take off because you will miss the boat. So you got to give yourself a little time, and then you got to give yourself time. A lot of people do the pre-cruise, which they go a day or two ahead. They stay at the Marriott and they have this big fabulous pre-cruise party, meet and greet and whatever. I haven't done that yet, but I say maybe next year I'll think about possibly doing it. And then it takes the stress off of you because you're already there ahead of time. You're already in Florida. You're not going to miss your boat.
Right.
So that's how it went for me. But I had a fabulous time. I'm just trying to catch up with the time thing. I'm sleepy when I should be awake. I'm awake when I should be sleepy, deal because you get on that clock. 8 days is a good amount of time to reprogram yourself. Where sometimes like when the boat leaves from Mexico and go over here to Bahamas or what, you know, there's a time change.
Yeah,
So they're
that's
telling
yeah,
you
that's true.
where your clocks is now an hour ahead from when you were over here. So your phone ain't caught up with it because there's no signal out there in the middle of the ocean for your phone to look at this that you used to look at. And then it was just, it was interesting about the time fluctuating and stuff. But anyway, so that's enough of my gift of gab. But I'm so glad to be back here with you
I'm
guys.
so glad you're back.
Back to business. I missed you guys. I really did. I missed my little Sunday shows and my panel. And tonight we're missing John. We're missing Ben. And we're missing Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure we'll be able to catch up with them next time. Everybody's had a nice little break and they may have some things they're doing. And I do understand. Sometimes we do. But I'm glad you two gentlemen was able to make it. And so both of you went on and shared your thing or what's going on with you and
rock and roll.
And you want to rock and roll and rock. And what about current events? I hear that they got this SAVE thing going on for the student loan forgiveness, not forgiveness, but you can apply for what they call this, go to your student aid, log on, and you can apply for something that's called SAVE, I think it is, where you can, let me give you the proper name of it, where you can
something. They're trying to do something.
Yeah, if you apply, I mean, if you qualify for it, it's called SAVE. It's called apply for the SAVE, SAVE repayment plan. So depending on your income level, you can go in the FAFSA and you can apply for it, and it can reduce your payment. So, like if you was, calculated to pay $200 a month, it can reduce you down to $100 a month or something like that. So it's supposed to be really something that will help.
Sounds like a refinance program.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to, I think for a couple, you have to make under 67,000 a year or something like that. And a single person, 30-something thousand a year. So
there's a lot of people making under 67,000 a year. So there's going to be a lot of people that qualify.
So you want to go to the FAFSA and you want to, I know some people that's out here doing this scammy stuff and trying to get your information and all that. Be very mindful of that. If it's not coming from, the Student Aid Commission, the FAFSA and all that, and you got to log in and all that, I wouldn't be bothered with all that other stuff, clicking on these links and put in your information and all that, because people are out during vulnerable times like this trying to get your sensitive information.
That's true. What's the cause of light?
And they ask for some sensitive information. So you just want to be very careful of that. And what about any other current events? Anything else you guys hear of that's interesting that's been going on while I was gone? Because I wasn't paying attention to no news. They had some black movies in the room on the TV on the ship and all that, and I was watching some movies. I didn't know what was going on nowhere. I didn't even care on vacation. Okay. So anything happened that I missed, y'all? Did we drop
Nothing
bombs?
really.
What happened?
Nothing really.
Same old, same old?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that UPS didn't strike. And I'm glad they reached an agreement because I depend on them to get my packages. That's where I have my mailbox with a UPS. Because at my apartment, they steal packages around here. So
they steal your packages off the door?
If you don't hurry up and grab your stuff, somebody will come and snatch it. Somebody stole an envelope that had some sewing stuff in it. It was just some basic stuff like like a template to sew, and they deliver. The mailman, instead of putting it in the mailbox, they put it at the door, and somebody took it. And I'm like, what you gonna do with some sewing stuff? Like, but that's why I'm like,
But they don't be knowing what's in there, so they be thinking that
it's gonna be something of value, and they found out it wasn't anything that they could use.
Right.
So, I'm just glad that didn't happen, because we depend on them for our mailbox needs. But I understand it, because they deserve to have better pay. And unfortunately, Amazon is still on strike, and we got the writer strike. There's a lot of these strikes going on for good reason.
Amazon is still on strike.
Oh, Amazon is still on strike. Yep, they have not reached an agreement. But it goes to show, because the UPS workers negotiated the highest tier gets paid up to $50 an hour, which makes sense. That in today's economy, that most people should be getting paid around that area, with the way we're, the direction we're going with the inflation. But these corporations are being real greedy. So that's what we're having to deal with. Is it just goes to show that demands could be met, but certain corporations are choosing not to. So
well, the biggest thing is like any other business model, they want to show a profit at the end of the year. They care less about the man working. It's about what can I do to make a profit or show a profit at the end of the year, so I can look like my business is flourishing when it's not. So, dog world, man. I just wished, the things that they teach you in school, I wish they would really teach you some things in school. You know what I
mean? Some real life stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure the people who there was a company called Yellow. I don't know if you heard of that on the news, but a whole bunch of workers just lost their pensions.
The freight company, Yellow Freight.
It's the freight company. Yeah, the freight company, Yellow. They just shut down. They filed for bankruptcy, and a whole bunch of employees lost their jobs just out of nowhere. And they also don't. But there was people that were working for 30 years plus, and they lost everything. They lost their pensions. So, for them to not say that we're not in a recession right now, I'm trying to, keep that lie going. Something's up. And then they're trying to distract us with this aliens crap. They need to get that out of here. There's bigger fish to fry.
Oh, they really trying to distract.
Yeah, they really trying to push that crap on. And, I believe it when I see it,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck to that one.
Yeah, they're just throwing distractions left and right. We don't have time for that. People are starving out here. There's a lot of homelessness going on, that needs to be addressed. They're just getting to the point out here in Colorado where they're allowing people to have tiny homes. I thought Colorado was more about freedom and do whatever you want with your land, but no, they have regulations on whether you can have a tiny house on your property. But they're trying to loosen that because they want to figure out how to deal with the homeless crisis. There's a homeless crisis out here in Colorado that a lot of people don't know about. People living in streams and rivers and under bridges, and it's a lot of people just going through it. So
so do they mandate like working on trying to clean up certain areas, or are they just
they do, especially out here in Colorado Springs, in the creek areas is where a lot of the homeless stay, and they're having to clean up the different areas because it's highly dangerous, especially when the weather gets bad and it's heavy rains.
Yeah, the creek rises.
Yeah, it rises, and they're having to rescue people out of that stuff. And it also, for the environment, there's a lot of trash that's involved. They're having to go in and clean up, just like how in Oakland under that under the freeway, all those people were living with all of that trash.
Right.
And it's just, there was a lot of fires and stuff. We have the same thing out here. It's nationwide. It's starting to rise, and people they're just raising they're lifting the eviction moratoriums that they got going on across the country. So people are having to pay their back rent with, most likely without assistance. So, and it's about to be winter. So where are these people gonna stay? What are these people gonna do?
That's the really scarier part is when the weather changes and it's colder out there and it's wet and it's raining and it's Colorado, it's snowing. How do these homeless people survive in that type of,
Right.
environment when it's so, I mean, we get cold here, but we don't have the snow and temperatures that's so low that you could,
Right.
potentially freeze to death. I mean, what do they do about that? Do they have like shelters and stuff like that?
They do. They have different areas. They have housing, government housing, like something like with HUD. They have some things like that, but there's a long waiting list for that. You could be waiting up to 2 years to get into a home. And who knows where
I say any list, it seems to be far-fetched, but it's always a good thing to put yourself on the list because when you
absolutely.
expect it, they are going to reach out to you and you're going to be like, wow, this is right on time, even so, now. So and time goes by. Before you know it, a year then went by.
That's
And some
true.
people that they reach out and try to connect with, they've moved, they can't connect them.
That's right.
Their situation has changed. They don't need it anymore, whatever. And then they go down to the next, and they go down to the next. And before you know it, you may be moved up really a lot quicker. They give you a range. They tell
That's
you
true.
it's a 5-year waiting list, but you may be called in 2 years.
That's true.
You never know. I mean, I have been in a position where I was on a list in Santa Rosa or something, and I had just went on and applied because it had opened up. This was some years ago when I was in San Leandro, and they ended up calling me. I don't know, maybe 3 years later, but I had already, moved on and situation was better and I didn't
Yeah.
need to. So I had to let them know to move on to the next person. So you get that happens, and trust me, I thought about it. I was like, man, maybe I should have gone and moved to Santa Rosa and get on that. I'm like, Donna, you don't need it now, thank God. And somebody else does.
Right.
Because I remember when I had to be on, Section 8 and stuff like that, it came at a time when my kids was young, and boy, did I need it. It's no way I could have afforded back then to have an apartment big enough for 3 children and myself and pay all that rent. And even back then, the rent wasn't like it is now, but it was still high for a 3-bed, for you. I needed at least a 3-bedroom, preferably a 4. And
I can only imagine.
it's very hard to, especially now. I mean, it's like if you don't have some type of assistance with housing, and that's why people have 2 and 3 roommates. That's why people are in situations that they don't want to leave. That's not good for them because they can't afford to go out and get their own place.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about taking on a roommate and letting them have the living room, but this is my studio. This is my room. So I would be giving up my room to have somebody stay with me in a 1-bedroom apartment. But we would have extra
I don't know
income.
how you would work that out. That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but you do what you gotta do.
You do
Look,
what you got
I've
to do.
rented a room out in my house, trust me, and I'd rather walk around and have my own little freedom. But sometimes you just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't gotta be forever, but you just gotta do what you got to do. And you have to rearrange some things. It don't be as convenient.
Yeah, I thought about saying, hey, the couch for rent and $200, $300, something.
The biggest thing about
Hey, couch for rent. JJ, shut up. Oh my God. Has it gotten that bad? A couch for rent?
People have done it. It has happened. I was actually in 2017 when I was homeless, but my car was working. I was driving around Oakland, and they're right there on Foothill and deep in deep east, like almost, I want to say a little bit past Seminary. There was this questionable building we went to. We thought it was a house. We go in there, it's a whole theater, and people sleeping in the theater seats, and they wanted $500 each for a seat.
Sleep in the theater seat?
To sit in a theater, and you don't got no privacy, nothing. You put your bag where you could put it. It was almost like it happened before that fire.
that ghost fire.
That ghost ship fire. Yep. And I'm so glad I didn't do it, because that was like a similar situation. Like there's no immediate exit out of there. It's like one way in and one way out type of situation. It was so suspect.
Well,
but
it was just keeping people off the street. So the $500 was probably their general assistance check or whatever. They was just all going to them for you to be able to not be on the street.
Hey, I was doing better in my car. I was like, I'll stay in my car. I could at least turn the ignition and go somewhere else and hide somewhere.
Well, when the rent went off the hook like that, I know somebody else who they lost their apartment and they went on and stayed in their car, and they said that they would rather stay in their car than to pay $2,000 or more for a little old bitty apartment, and just stay in their car until things got better. And they worked and everything, and then they would go to certain places and wash up, or go to their house and wash up and bathe, and then they would go on about their day, and they had a little spot they would park at, and they would recline and go to sleep, wake up next. I mean, man, I think I
was shaving my face in the car. I had the little mirror, I had the driver mirror, I faced it toward me and was shaving in the car. I had a little bib that I set up to collect the hair, and I'm shaving inside the car. I'll never forget it.
But isn't it somewhat scary, depending on, I mean, somebody can just come up to your car with a gun or something and rob you.
I was asleep and some naked lady came up to my car, just boobs out, just hanging, and she banging on my window.
She was trying to solicit it.
She was drunk. She was drunk. She was like hollering. I don't know what she was doing, but she was banging on my car. I was parked.
You think she was running from somebody? Somebody tried to maybe rape her?
I didn't care what she was doing. I turned my car on. I hope I didn't run over her feet when I drove off.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it was.
So you don't know what she was saying?
I don't care. I was half asleep driving. When I pulled off, I was barely awake.
And her boobs was hanging out?
Her boobs was hanging out. They was sagging too. They was bad.
They was sagging?
Yeah, they were just out. And she just in the middle of the street, just naked.
Some folks don't be mad at the sagging. They like them boobs to go over. Throw it over your shoulder. They like that.
They was like loose ends hanging on a string. Like
oh, she was an older woman.
No, she looked around my age, but she was around my age, but her tatas
were older. She just had big, heavy ones.
Yeah, she had big, heavy ones. They pressed up against my car window.
You know what, JJ? I'm starting not to believe you right now.
Hey, I wasn't crazy.
She said it was near a hospital. She could have just said just a hospital. I
was right next to Highland Hospital.
I think that she probably, I mean, I hope she was all right, but
Hey, I hope I didn't run over her feet because I drove smooth off.
What time you think of morning this was?
It was at least 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was real late. And I thought I picked a nice spot where nobody would mess with me, but I was wrong.
Wow, that's sad though, because it's scary. And that's a thing that man, I would just be just on edge. I don't think I would be able to sleep.
Oh, I didn't. I got like 3 hours of sleep at the most. And I'm driving around like that.
Every night.
Every night. And I've had the police pull me over at sometimes, especially in San Leandro. But I found a spot in San Leandro.
Oh yeah, San Leandro don't play it. They don't even like you on the marina after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I found a spot near the marina, a really good spot, and I stayed there for 2 weeks and nobody noticed. I could probably come out there and still sleep over there.
But I mean, you could park your car with the lights off, and how do they know that police drive up and shine the light in your car?
Yeah, no, what it was is I kind of had my windows blocked, and I guess that's suspect. But I was trying to sleep. The street lights is gleaming on you, and it's hard to sleep like that. So when I got my Honda, I stopped blocking the windows. I was like, don't block the windows. What we'll do is we'll put a shade on the front window. That's normal. And don't block the other windows. And then we'll put the seats back. And that's how you're able to sleep in the car and nobody will bother you. And can't nobody see inside the car because you got the sunshade up and it takes the light away from the rest of the car.
Well, you know, God is good, JJ, because now you got your own apartment and you talking about renting a couch. So, you know, you talking about renting a couch out. So, you know, good. It was a time when you needed to rent a couch out.
Right. There was a time where
I needed to be on somebody's couch, right? But I mean, I didn't know that it's gotten to the point. I know it was bad out here, but I didn't know where people was actually renting couches or seats in this little place you was talking about, $500 for you to sleep in this chair for the night. I mean, that's just somebody, that's an opportunist right there.
Oh yeah, no, it was for the month, but they were like, we want the rent on time, and people, if you don't pay, you got to get out, and talk all this crap like they're it, but it wasn't
big
safe.
Baller. They was landlord.
Oh, it was not safe for disabled people. Like there was no way. Like it was the entrance to get in there. It was a messy office. I wish I secretly had my camera going. I probably would expose something. But you know, I just got up out of there. I found it on Craigslist, and I'll never forget it.
How did they advertise it on Craigslist? Room for rent or something?
It was room for rent. That's how they advertised it, and they said we do have a room. So they showed the room. It was some little closet. That was no room.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, and it was dark. There was I'm walking through and you initially don't see how many people are sleeping in all the chairs because it was a big theater. So you don't see until you're walking back through. And I'm like, oh no. Like you can see more people laying in the chairs that you couldn't see before. And I was like, I was thinking about, my partner's disabled. I'm like, there's no way that they're going to be able to navigate through all of this mess. It was too many stairs. And my partner had a walker and could barely lift the walker to go different places. And nah, I'm glad I didn't try to do that. And then shortly after that, that ghost ship fire happened. And that was confirmation for me to let me know if you was even thinking about doing something like that, here's what could have happened.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be oh man, I'm just telling you, it is really scary out here to and you have to be very thankful to be in a position where you do have somewhere that's comfortable and safe to be. Because there's a lot of people who don't, and they're out here just from day to day, just, I mean, terrified. Where am I going to sleep tonight? Where am I going to be tonight? Like you, JJ, you found a spot for 2 weeks that was safe, but then you had to move and find another spot. And then that night at that spot, you wondering, well, are we going to be cool at this spot? And you got to, and I don't know if can you be arrested, or do they just ask you?
They just asked me to move. Yeah, you could it's illegal to sleep in your car, especially if you're in the driver's seat. They could pull you out and do a sobriety test or things like that. They just asked us to move.
But if you pull over, say like if you've had too much to drink and you pull over to, sleep it off or whatever and park, I mean, isn't that okay? Isn't that safer than you continuing to drive?
It should be safer. Like if you're conscious enough to be able to pull over and sleep it off a little bit and then get up and move somewhere else, it should be. But if you get pulled over by the cops, they don't care what your situation is. And I just got lucky a lot of different times. I know when we was in the car and it was running, I got pulled over because my car was a Honda and they wanted to see if it was legit. So I got pulled over at least 10 times.
If it was a legit Honda or what?
By the 10th time, the cops was like, "Oh, we know you now. We know you're legit. You're free to go. We saw you last week. Never mind. We thought you were somebody else." I was like, "Oh, I got to get up out of here. I don't like it where it gets to the point where the cops know who I am." Like, that's not cool.
Wow.
But yeah, they could have did a sobriety test on me or something. And if I did something wrong while I was sleepy, they could have taken me. And, my partner was staying in the car with me, so they could have taken him, and we don't know what would have happened with that. So we just lucked out in a lot of ways.
Yes, you did. And I mean, man, thank God.
Oh, there was times on the bridge where I was late and I was speeding to work. I was doing at least 100 on that bridge. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh my God.
I'm zooming in and out of the lanes trying to get to San Francisco. Then once you get to Treasure Island, then you're stuck because there's that traffic is just you ain't doing no 100. You gotta just wait it out. So I'm calling my manager like I'm on my way. I'm like, I can't even say how long it's gonna take me.
Did you make it on time?
No, I was late a lot of times. But the last 2 months, I started showing up to work. I would show up to San Francisco 3 hours early. So I would go to the gym, hurry up like at 4:00 in the morning and get breakfast. And I'll be over that bridge before the sun comes up.
So the gym is where you would go freshen up?
Yep. I would either be in I would be in San Leandro or at that Bayfair one, at that 24-hour fitness, or I would be at the Oakland one. I would prefer to be at the Oakland one, but if I couldn't find no place to sleep in Oakland, I'm like, I guess we driving to San Leandro. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, God bless you, because I know that had to have been very, very scary. And I mean, I'm pretty sure people who do that, just like you was in that situation, you have friends and family members that you could reach out to, but you really just don't want to.
Yeah, I didn't want a lot of my family members to know what I was going through. Like my mom's side of the family knew what was going on, but my dad's side of the family didn't know. Like my granny wanted me to stay with her, but I had my partner with me, and I was just getting to know my partner at the time. So I didn't want to let her know what my business was. I've been very secretive. So, and we was just like, let's stick it out. Let's see if this works. And eventually I moved in with my mom for the winter in Clear Lake before I moved out here to Colorado.
Yeah, I remember that move to Clear Lake. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I did it because I got my car fixed. My car broke down in Clear Lake. So I was without a car for like a good few months, but I got my big check for taking care of my partner. I put like at least $2,000 into my car and got it fixed. I got the brakes fixed, everything. I got new tires. And I took whatever I could out of my storage and we jetted out here to Colorado. And that's one of the best decisions I ever made. I haven't been homeless since.
So you don't have any regrets of?
No, I mean, I wish I would have been in an apartment so I could go and see my mom before she passed, but I was able to be with her on the phone that weekend before she passed. So, and she always wanted me, she put heavy emphasis on that. She always wanted me to take care of myself and make sure that, you know, that I'm a priority and I have my basic needs met before I do anything else. So she didn't want me to rush out there to her. So I was able to see her on video chat. So yeah, I don't have any regrets in that regard. I'm glad that I'm stable now. Hey, I'm gonna be paying my rent 9 days late, but
hey.
Hey.
A lot of folks rather be late than not at all. Trust me, I've been there, done that with some not at all.
Right. I know ahead of time, I know up to January what my pay, based on my pay schedule and how much I'm making, what the budget looks like and what's gonna be going on. And I'll let the management know what my situation is. And they like me because I'm transparent with what's going on.
So. And that's great. You know, some people try to hide it and not really lay it, because you know it's pride and it's all kinds of stuff, and they don't want to really be truthful. And a lot of times, just being honest and truthful and putting it out there, people respect that more.
Yeah.
They respect that more and will work with you if you seem to be of good character and of your word. You know, then there's some who will try to take advantage of a good situation.
That's true too.
Their stripes usually be shown real quick.
That's real right. Quick.
So Cordell, are you planning on renting a couch out?
I'll put it to you this way. I've been divorced since 2000. I like my lifestyle just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You like it the way it is 2000. That's 23 years ago.
I heard that.
Like I said, I like my lifestyle just the way it is.
Hey.
You know, and that's pretty interesting. You know, it's like as you get more seasoned and you have been out of something for quite a while, some people say, even, you know, you get kind of stuck in your own ways of your own peace, you know. You do desire to want somebody around from time to time and this and that, but I don't know. It's a scary thing of that forever again, because now you done got settled in your ways. You got your peace. You ain't gotta, you know, answer to nobody. You ain't gotta be stressing over nothing. If you don't want to be bothered, you don't have to. But when you are with someone, you have to always consider them with everything.
Well, you know, the thing that's really baffling is that, well, I'll just say it this way. After living a little bit, you know what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. So, not saying that you're not open to new things, but you become really kind of impatient because you don't have to put up with it. So it gets to the point where you'll say,
that part,
I don't want to live my life like that no more. So, you know, this person's got to go or I got to go. We got to have a change here. You know, we got to make sure that we still are good people to each other, but we can't be in the same environment.
Yes. and both be okay with it, and even if one is not okay with it, you got to look out for what's good for you. I'm saying you should consider the other person when you're involved like that. But if a situation is toxic, or if it's causing you more darkness than it is light, you have to do what's best for you,
Right. To me, it's self-preservation, happiness, and making sure that you're okay with yourself. So as long as you're okay being truthful to yourself, I'm good. So
Right.
And whatever decision you make, you have
Right.
to make sure you're able to live with that, because
That's real.
you
gotta be happy no matter what you do, and to be around somebody that you can't be yourself, so you're not happy, even though they're with you, is it really worth it? So, and when you are yourself, they don't like the person that you are. So what's the big deal? Why be with that person anyway? Because they don't like you apparently. So either find somebody else or be happy being by yourself.
Yeah, this is true. But a lot of people hesitate with making that decision, because who wants to sometimes take the risk of saying, well, did I make the right choice? Was I patient enough to really wait to make sure that I'm doing the right thing? No one wants to be the first one to say goodbye, really. I mean, you don't want to be that one, but sometimes you got to,
You got to be honest to yourself and make sure that, hey, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this to please somebody else? I got to please myself first. So if I'm not really pleasing myself, I'm doing this person an injustice because I'm not pleasing them. Because apparently they're not happy because I'm not happy. So if I'm not happy, you're not going to be happy.
Absolutely true.
And to touch on that, I had to learn that I'm not responsible for somebody else's happiness. I'm responsible for my own happiness.
For your own. That's cool.
I'm I can't be sitting around being a people pleaser. I've been told that I'm a people pleaser a lot. I'm a music producer, so it's my job to make sure that the artist is pleased. That's how that's how I am. That's how I think. But I can't apply
that you get
I can't apply that same aspect to life.
Yeah, you get screwed in the end.
Yeah. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You got to please yourself. And it's like I have to be responsible for my happiness. Just like, for example, my partner get mad and I'm having a good day. You can have a bad day here in your room. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be playing some SWV and some Jagged Edge and some Aaliyah and some. I'm gonna be jamming up in here. You can have you a bad day, but I'm not. I woke up on a good foot, and I'm gonna stay that way. And I'm sorry you having a bad day, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So, and that's just what it is. And I do my best to make sure that you have your needs met. But if you want happiness, you got to look within, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, you have to look you got to be happy with self first. It starts with self first. And it's not to say that you're not going to have good and bad days and situations with one another. But happiness starts within. And a lot of people, like Cordell says, too, if you're not happy with what's going on with you, then you're not going to make that other person happy, for real. You're going to make them miserable. Oh, no. Like they say, misery loves company.
That is the truth.
Why you in there playing Jagged Edge and you all happy, and Negro, I'm over here suffering, going through this? They gonna try to poke and make you miserable too, because you can't be happy and they not happy.
And that's why I got the gym membership. I'll take my ass straight to the gym with my headphones. Peace. You got you some water, you got you some food. I'm out of here. I paid my $25 a month just for this moment. Let me go to this gym real quick.
Cancel out all the noise. Put on these headphones on.
But that's good though. You find your happy place. You find what makes you go. What, regardless, you don't get yourself suffocated into that madness. Not to say we're being insensitive. Not to say we're being insensitive to the other person's needs and issues, but some people will try to just duck you down into that quicksand to suffocate you with the madness because they're suffocating and they find thrill and excitement in doing so.
So what I have found is some people have a tendency to put their dirt on your shoulders and have you feel bad about it while they go ahead and live their life. So you are thinking about what can you do to better them, to make them happy. But in the flip side, they ain't even thinking about you.
Right.
So you're the type of person that might say, well, geez, I wonder if this person's making out okay. Let me check on them. Then you check on them and realize they just happy and bubbling. You say, well, wasn't you just down and out yesterday? Now you seem to be okay. But I was worried about you. I was ready to give up my life for you. And now you're this. Are you okay? You sure? So it's not consistent, you know? Some people.
Why do you think that is, Cordell? Why do you think
I think
people switch like that? Why do you think from one day to
so
another?
Selfish that they want to they don't want to compromise to make sure that you're in agreement with whatever they trying to fulfill in life. Instead of having a partnership, it's all about me. You can't have a duality with a partnership that could work well, but when you have one side that's always thinking about me, it's such like saying a person, they'd say, hey, Donna, you know, I like this, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like this, I like that. But they never ask you what you like. So, you know, they don't really care what you like. They don't even want to hear what you like.
Well, they're not interested in what you like. Because like you said, it's all about them.
Correct.
Now, if you butt in and throw in what's going on with you, watch how quickly it's dismissed and jumped over to get right back to them.
Right.
That part.
And you're like, wait a minute, did they just hear? Did I say my toe got cut off yesterday? And
I'll be like, I'll be right back, and I won't. I'll walk away. I'm the type to walk away now. I don't even entertain it.
Yes,
I come in here and play video games.
Time. You know, why waste your time? You know what the outcome is going to be before it even gets there. So I know where this is going. I've seen this book before.
Yeah, so you have to be able to put your foot down in a way that's not putting them in a situation to win with allowing you to step out of character and get into a big fight. Because sometimes they want you to get into this big fight.
That's what it is.
That's why they poking at you. They trying to get a rise out of you because I'm like, they want that attention or that whatever they are trying to do.
I'll be like, do you want to fuck?
Oh, Lord.
Just get to the point, right?
But tell me that if you do ask that, JJ.
I do.
And do they end up saying yeah?
Oh, they'll be in denial. They'll be in the complete denial, and all of a sudden, they're like hours later, oh yeah, I do. Where was this hours ago? See, I'm animated. I dropped my remote on the floor. Come on, like we could have did this hours ago. You wanted to argue.
So
Now,
you
now
think
you
the
that
whole hour.
sometimes you think sometimes that's a buildup of frustration. A person really wants to do what they want to do with you, but they don't know how to come out and approach you to do it.
that's why I be upfront.
So
That's
they
why I
pick
be
an
like, come
argument
on.
with you.
That's why I be like, hey, what you want to do? That's what it seemed like. It seemed like you need
And
to be
especially if you know that there's been a drought amongst you. If there's been a long drought where maybe you guys have disconnected for a week or two because you've been having issues, and all
right.
of a sudden they got this trip about them, and you come out with, okay, I know what they want. I already know they just frustrated. Okay, are you
Right.
frustrated? And some are very selfish though. They'll ride it to the end, and then some
Keep
will
it going,
humble.
and then they got their head down, talking about, yeah, I want to. What was this? You could. I already said it up front. I gave you the option. You gonna sit here and be in denial? What was all of that?
That was an hour earlier, right?
Right.
So you
But
wasted
then
an
that
hour.
kind of with that, I don't know. With
By
that,
the time the hour's over, I'm not even turned on no more.
that's what I'm
I'm not even
saying. Will
feeling
that
it.
take away of
It
the?
do. It take away. I'll be like, I don't even want to do
Because
nothing now.
even if they come out and say, "Well, yeah, I kind of do want to look," you at that point, it's like, you know what? No, I ain't even feeling this no more. I was if
Yeah.
you would have said something an hour ago when we was going through all this, but right now, shit. Where's my remote?
Because for me, it's not a physical thing. It's an emotional thing.
It's emotional.
For me. Yeah, it's an emotional thing. I gotta be feeling the moment. So
See,
if you take it, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
If you take it to some whole other level where it didn't need to go, and for a whole hour, I'm over here pissed. Now you want to do something because I done said some quips that made you it got you thinking about some things. Man, nah, that's too much.
But
So
see,
why do you think why do you think it was even said then? Why would you say it?
because he knows his partner.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his partner already, to know that his partner might be frustrated, but don't want to come out and say what he or she wants. So
Right.
he's gonna say, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I know what you want, so let's just do this.
Right.
But
get it out the way.
Yeah, but then it's like, I don't want to do that. Come on, man. Yes, you do. I know you do. So why fight the feeling? Just get it out the way. But
But I don't know, but you still want to do that after a person is saying, yeah, I know what you want to do. Why you fight the feeling? Let's just get it out the way. I mean, would you still really want to do that?
You know, it's like Donna. For someone to be heard, they would just bring up anything to argue about it, right? No matter what it could be, but it could be my shoelaces are not tied tight enough. She want to argue. But it's not the shoelace, it's the control factor of saying, I'm going to control you. And then you say, I give in. What do you want to do? You want me to tie my shoelace? Or do you just want to go back here in the bedroom and do what you got to do because you're frustrated? What is it? Tell me. I want to please you. Tell me. No, I'm just mad at you. Well, that ain't going to get us nowhere. Just going to keep being mad for another hour. I don't know the reason, but I know you as a person. You're frustrated. You're mad about something. You don't want to share it with me. But to relieve that tension, I know what works best for you, and I want to help you. But then again, you want to deny it. So an hour later from now, I'm going to say, I don't want to do that now.
And then if you try to press the issue, I might be a little bit aggressive. I might be talking some shit while I'm doing it to you.
That's just it.
Hey,
so it's not pleasurable. It's a power act at that point.
Don't get mad if Don't get mad if I smack it on your face a little bit too hard.
Wow, JJ.
Hey, that's the
That
I'm
is
just keeping.
abusive behavior.
Nah, you like it because you moving your face. You got the temples and stuff. You moving your face while I'm doing it. Y'all kissing all on it and stuff.
Oh
Nah.
Lord. You know
I'm
what?
going there. I'm going there.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. I tell you. Mm-mm-mm. Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it game playing, or you just want to call it, let me teach you a lesson. Next time you need to just come out and say what you want, quit playing, right?
That's exactly how I be. You see, you got me all riled up. Now you're
Yeah.
getting it. Now you're
Now
getting
you're gonna go slap him side of the head when we get
Now
through
you
with
get.
the show. Fling it.
I went from being corporate to being a thug.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's a thug, y'all. Grown folks.
I pulled out the Oakland.
Uh-oh. Thug Thizzo in the house.
You say he went to the town, huh?
I'm
To the
turning the
town and
town
brought
business
out
in
the
the
thug
bedroom.
because you tired of playing these games. Okay. Well, interesting conversation, you guys. I gotta find an inquiring minds want to know question because we didn't ate into the time. I said I was gonna cut the show.
Oh, I knew you wasn't gonna be able to keep it short.
You know, y'all always do this to me, you know. And I need to I had an inquiring minds want to know. Let me find one right quick because a girl been all jetsy.
I have my ink pen and it went somewhere. I'm gonna have to grab another one.
Did I do the one before about telling your dude that I love him, but he never tells me back?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And they've been dating for 3 years, no proposal.
Oh, yep, we did that one.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, we did that one.
Okay, so let me find another one. You know, I jot these down, and this is so real life. Grown folks, don't mind me, because I keep it real 100, okay? And so I just got back from vacation, okay? But I wanted to be on here to do this. And so the girl is a little off. What about the one about my lady is having a submission problem?
That seems like an ongoing subject because we had conversations about that.
Yeah, we
different times. I don't know if that's that person. I don't know. I don't want to say tongue twister. I don't know if that specific one was discussed, but we've had similar.
Something similar.
Yeah.
Well, this one, let me know if this sounds familiar. I didn't mark this as being done. I don't know why, but my lady is having a submission problem with me when I ask her to do things, especially in the bedroom. I left a woman for her. And when she was trying to get me, she did it all. Bath water ran. Hell, she even drank it. Food was cooked. The place was clean. Lunch was made. Clothes was washed, ironed. Picked up my kids from school. Took them to their mamas because she didn't have a car. But now, after just 2 years of doing this, she has cold stopped doing it. She was even
familiar.
sexting me every time I wanted it and how I wanted it. I was her first in the back door. Now she says no more submission until I marry her.
Yeah, I think we
did. Kidding me? Hell, she's auditioning for the role.
Yeah, we said, because I wrote that down in the notebook.
Yeah, the Bible says submit. If she fails now, she'll fail forever. I don't think I'm wrong about this. Marriage is a question mark. I think we should wait until she understands her role. Wow. Did we talk about this one?
Yeah, we talked about this, but we could revisit it because I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't know if we came to a conclusion about it. I think we just played around with it, and I think Minister John had some insight
About
on
the
it.
submission, about how
Yeah,
people get the submission role.
yeah, that
You
was.
know, this gentleman, we're gonna revisit this, you guys. I'm sorry if some of you remember this one again. Like JJ says, I don't think we really got into giving them any concrete advice about this, but pretty much it seems like the back door thing, you know, he wants in and she's not wanting to go there, right? She's not submitting to giving him the way he wants it.
Yeah.
And but he's talking about possibly marriage, but she's auditioning. The big strong word, I think I remember this, is she's auditioning for the role of wifey by being submissive in doing the things that he needs her to do. Outside of the bedroom, inside of the bedroom. Hell, she's doing all these wifey things: the cleaning, the coat, the making the lunch, the ironing, the keeping the house clean, drinking his bath water. I mean, she's doing it all, right? And some, or was, and then she just stopped.
Yeah, something changed. He's leaving something out. Something changed in the relationship in regards to him because she was willing to do a whole bunch of wifely duties for him, but without the marriage. And to say that she's auditioning, that makes it comes off like he has a whole bunch of women lined up for the role. That's what auditions normally have.
Absolutely. There's other people standing in line, and if you don't crease my pants right, she probably crease it a little bit more and put some starch on it, so she's gonna be the winner.
Right. I mean, and compare. So he's. Let me make sure I got this right. So he's comparing her to a previous woman who did all of this stuff, and so.
No, he's saying that
she did it for 2 years, no problem.
she did 2 years, like Cordell's saying, with doing all this stuff, just off the hook, he called it submission.
Yeah.
To all his needs, wants, and desires. And she even gave it to him sexually every time he wanted it, and even let him do it through the back door.
She was giving him a preview of what marriage would look like, and then he hasn't stepped up to the plate. What else does she need to do to nail this role?
She saying, hey, look, check this out, dude. You ain't married me yet. You ain't put a ring on it proposing to me yet. So I'm just going to stop doing all this until you marry me, because I'm giving you these wifely duties. I'm letting you have the best of me all the way around, which one of the things that she gave him too much. Why buy the cow when the milk is free?
That's true.
Okay, so she's giving him all these wifely duties, everything. It seemed like to every extreme and corner and this and that. And then all of a sudden, she was trying to put it down right. She wanted a husband. So she wanted to, okay, I'm going to shower him with X, Y, Z, 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 Z. And I know he's going to want to wife me, right?
Well, here's my take on it. Pretty much like JJ said. Either he did something to cause her chain of events to stop, or she was just doing these things because she was trying to please him, but that's not really her. So was she doing that because what we seen was the true her, or just her representative, what she wanted to be for him? Because something either happened or didn't happen. we don't know the answer to that, but in my opinion, something happened because the
Yeah.
woman's not going to be really submissive for a long period of time without something happening, cheating on her, using her, abusing her, making her do something that she really doesn't want to do, even though she's been
That's right.
submissive. So something
Well,
happened.
it is, she's saying that she is going to stop doing everything until he marries her. So could it be that she just got tired of doing all of this and saw that it was getting her nowhere as far as her needs and desires of wanting to be married?
That could have been.
So at some point she's saying, let me back away from doing this.
And see what his reaction is going to be. So, but the thing is really, the way I would see it, my point of view, in my opinion, is that either she wants to change or she wants something to be met. Something has to happen. Either he did something to her or she want to change into him.
Well, the thing is,
like,
just like if a man is pursuing a woman and he's pursuing and pursuing and pursuing her, but for whatever reason, it's not going anywhere. They're just stagnated. Sooner or later, he's gonna get tired of pursuing, right?
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
gonna back away because he's gonna feel like, well, she's not really. I'm trying to take this to a whole nother level, and she's still stuck on stupid, and I'm wasting time. We're doing all this with her. I care about her, but you know what? I may have to just stop some stuff or slow it down or go on and move on. Right?
Yeah, she probably
could
had
it
the
be
exit
that
strategy.
she just got tired? I mean, this woman was doing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even taking the kids to the baby mama because the baby mama don't have a car. That's
that's doing a lot. And
put a ring on it already. What are you waiting for? There,
he didn't put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it already. Because to be honest with you, we don't have time to waste in this world. If you really care about her, go ahead and do that thing. You think you can find somebody better? Go ahead and do that. But don't waste your time. Obviously, if you submitting this to the panel, you got something to lose.
Yeah, he already lost it. It's
You're
lost
right.
already.
Yeah, you lost a lot. You suffering right now. You're not getting your needs met.
Yeah,
And you gotta take some action. You gotta move on it. You know it's worth it. You saw all the things that you could possibly have in submission or nah. You could have treat her right. She gonna treat you right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing is, she was doing a whole lot to not be, like JJ said, it wasn't a ring put on it. It wasn't we're going in that direction. It was, pretty much dude is saying, well, hell, she was auditioning. So he was still trying to figure out if she even had the role.
Well, he could have played himself, but the thing that I would say is this: was she consistent? Was she doing this all the time? If she was consistent and not being mouthy and doing these things because she did them, so that's showing you right there that she might be a keeper.
She did it for 2 years.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, that happened for 2 years, but in that time she could easily have slipped up and did something else. So there's only the one thing I say is this: she was consistent. I hope she cared for him. I hope she showed him that she does, but he's trying to play her to find out, is she for real? So either he did something that she didn't like, or she just said, hey, I gotta go. You ain't being right to me. Something went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, and that's a gamble right there. You know, you're wasting time.
Yeah, 2 years is
Bottom
a long
line,
time.
2 years is a long time. Right now, in today's world, with the fast food type of thinking that people have, that's equivalent to about 5 years.
Yeah, that's a big investment.
That's a big investment in time. You know, I got people telling me that I've been with my partner basically for like 10 years in today's world, but it's a little bit, in reality, it's a little bit closer to 5 years, but they like, you might as well round it up to 10 because,
Yeah.
you know, relationships don't last that long normally.
No, they
Uh,
don't.
yeah.
And lo and behold, if you've been with somebody 5, 6 years, it's like, whoa. And you still are in square one. You haven't elevated, but you doing all these things to try to show them, whether it's a man or a woman, because men
Mhm.
will go over and beyond too, trying to show her, I'm that guy. I'm that one.
I know
But
somebody that died unhappy and they got played. The whole family was just using them for their money.
Yeah.
They ended up losing their job in the tech industry, and the woman wanted a divorce. Well, the dude got his job back, but she still wanted the divorce, and he ended up passing away. You know, he was not happy. You know,
mm,
and allowed the kids to use them and all kinds of stuff. May he rest in peace. One of my mom's good friends. You
It's like I
know,
said, you gotta be happy. I don't care what you
but
do, you gotta be happy.
I believe he died of a broken heart.
Yeah, probably.
I,
mhm.
he was a very kind man.
And you can die of a broken heart. I believe that to be so. You can. Some will beg to differ with that, but you can die of a broken
You can
heart.
die of a broken heart. It can happen.
Um, Especially if you've been together for so long. And but in this case, you know, I yeah, this one has a lot of different. I mean, the submission, the putting the Bible in there. The Bible says to submit, but you submit as unto the Lord. I mean, it people, and I think John made that point. I see notes on the side of this. So we did talk about this on one of the other shows. People really take that out of context. That's submissive thing, and you know there's a lot of women who are guilty of this. I'm not saying don't be good to your man and don't show him you love him and don't do wonderful things, but it has to be reciprocated. And, you're not wifey. You're not wifey yet. Some of them are not even in a relationship yet. You're just dating. So to do all those things that's being mentioned here that a wife's role would do without a shadow of a doubt, you're taking a big chance. You're giving him all of everything that you have, every drop in your lollipop. And if he does not marry you or end up staying with you, the next person he get with that's not giving him everything on the platter like that will be the one he's going to end up being with. Not
Yeah,
you. Not you.
we gotta weigh the pros and cons, and we also have to realize, is it worth the risk? Because you're risking yourself being with somebody you already see what you're getting. You think marriage is gonna really change that? Is he a cool dude? That's what I want to know. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to her to stay with him? I want to hear her side of the
Well, it
story.
seems like he's extremely an opportunist. I mean, you don't hear him saying anything in here about what he's doing for her or how he's willing to meet her halfway or this and that. This is all about her being submissive to him. All the things he mentioned she's done, and You know, he's not saying how grateful and thankful, and I'm going to put a ring on it, and I'm really going to marry this woman. I love her, and she's shown me that she's loyal, and she's there. You don't hear none of that.
Yeah.
You hear she's auditioning.
Yeah, but from her standpoint, she might as well go to another audition because apparently she ain't got the job. So
He said if she fails now, she'll fail forever.
well,
so she's being held on a judgment panel.
You can't determine what's gonna happen in somebody's life. You're not God, so he can get that out of here
now. So she's auditioning, and he's trying to see if she's going to get the job. But if she fails at getting the job, he feels that she will fail forever. And he doesn't think that he's married, that he's wrong about this. He thinks that they should wait until she understands her role.
Well, based on what he shared
Absolutely
with
amazing.
what he shared with us is that roles were somewhat defined by her. He agreed to them, but she had excelled at them. So, in my book, she exceeded the goals. He's still not impressed, but the bottom line is either she's need to make a choice. Am I gonna stay, or I'm gonna go? Because apparently he's still saying you auditioning, so somebody else is waiting in the wings. So just go ahead and leave, baby. Might as well.
So he can take it or leave it, really.
Yeah, there's so
all
many
that stuff she's done, really. Girl, you didn't stop.
It's a red flag. It's red flags.
That's a couple of red flags. You have
it's red flags across the board.
And you need to continue to stop. He's not the one. He's not the one. And we have got to stop giving 100+% wifey duties to a man, and you are not his wife or even in a relationship with him.
Well, the thing that kills me is that he never really says, I appreciate things that she done. I showed her my appreciation by this or that or this or that.
No, he hadn't said that.
He didn't say that. It's all about him. She stopped. She changed up on him. And it's like, hey, tell me why I'm changing up on him. He didn't share it with us. She changed up for a reason. You women don't change up for no reason. You gonna tell the brother, hey man, I ain't doing this shit no more. You will. No, I've been doing this shit for too long.
She says she ain't doing this shit no more until he marries her.
Well, there it is.
That's what she says clear here. She says, he says she cold stopped. She has cold stopped after 2 years. She stopped with sexing me every time he wanted it. And then it says, he says, now she's saying no more submission until I marry her.
Yeah, he's over there fuming. He's like, the audacity. How dare she?
All of a sudden stop.
Yeah, how dare she?
And she's saying, look, you need to marry me, dude. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm up here doing all this stuff. You got creases in your pants. You got lunch. You got my picking up your kids. You got me cooking your food. You got me cleaning the house. You got me doing wah, 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 wah. I even drank your bath water to let you know that I really, truly loved you.
Well, if this was a job, I would say, hey, I'm out. I'm gonna find a new one.
What you saying? She should say that?
She should. He don't appreciate her.
Yeah.
That drinking the bathwater part made me itch. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was like, ugh.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of
my skin
everybody,
crawl.
most of us have been in love at least once, and I mean, you know, I mean, I ain't drank no bubbles and bath waters and stuff. I've ran some bath water and I've washed your back and a few other things, but I sure ain't drank your bath.
yeah, I ain't doing that either.
Now that's I don't think. Whew. Now that's pretty tough. Now some of y'all hit the
Hey,
text. I
hey,
mean, hit the
everybody
chat.
got
If
their
you didn't
taste.
drink bath water, we need to hear about it because I don't think that's.
There's people who suck toes and stuff and lick orifices and stuff. So you know, we're not gonna judge people's fetishes, but you know,
Yeah, some people are really into the toe fetish, and you know, and it's some people that just won't even touch the feet. But some people really they like playing and sucking on your toes, and you know, it's some people look at it as, ew, that's just gross. But it can be very erotic. It can be very, you know, it can be a turn on. You just have to try it. Everything has to be tried before you can diss it because you don't know. You may be into something that you did not have a clue. And every time that person come along, you're gonna be like, here's my toe. You wanna see my toes today? You wanna see? You wanna see? Boo, here they go. I got sparkles on. See? Y'all can't see them, but
Be
you know,
like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang. She got a hammer feet.
she got she got half her feet. You ain't messing around. No, that ain't
hammer
gonna be
time in her,
that's not a
hammer
good
time
turn
in her
on.
feet.
Girl, go get your feet done first before you do that. Don't be putting no feet in no man's. I mean, even if that is his fetish, I think I knew somebody who had a foot fetish, and the more sparkly the polish was, the more they just really just got buck wild with it. It's just a trip. If you had really smooth one color, that was okay. But you added some sparkles to it. I'm like, where they do that at?
I will say this. I spent all of my college days in a shoe store and 2 years after that. I seen a lot of feet. I ain't got no foot fetish. Nah, but
What you mean? Some of them was kind of not too cute.
I just put it this way. I seen some things. I want everybody to keep their lunch. So
I mean, you can go get a
some people don't need to
pedicure.
go around trying on shoes at the brand new shoes at the shoe store.
that's
Trying
what we
on
did.
brand new shoes or sitting next to somebody that's getting a pedicure, man or woman,
Right.
and they got their foot up on the thing, and you look over, you like, damn. But they be there trying to keep them cute. But you know, people got bone stuff going on and bunions and
Yeah.
hammer toes and they nails is looking. It's some stuff going on for real.
Yeah, there really is. So
You know, with the feet. But I mean, God bless them. They are in there trying to, you know, men and women. They are in there trying to at least get them done. You know, they ain't just left them alone because you know your feet need some TLC too, for real.
right.
I wish I would have joined that trend on OnlyFans where everybody was putting their toes on the internet and making a whole bunch of money. I got some pretty feet for a dude. I could have made
Oh
some
yeah.
money.
Well, you should go get your pedicures done and get you some.
Yep, I could do it now. I couldn't have did it 2 years ago. I could do it
Get you
now.
some clear polish put on. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know if men get polish on their nails.
Yep.
But
The clear polish. Yeah, I do clear. I don't do it on my hands because I cook a lot. I don't do it. I don't want paint chips going in people's food. But
no.
on the toes, yeah, I put some clear nail polish on there. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Go on and do your thing. No, I ain't
It's
mad at you.
summertime. You walk around with the toes out. Yep.
I ain't mad at you. You know, y'all been taking me all around a bit bush today. We didn't went from one extreme to another. I
Oh
forget what y'all
yeah.
talking about. Oh, so the girl, we gotta tell the girl. We gotta tell her
said
something.
leave him. She gotta go. Run.
So I think it's to tell her that she needs to she want to get married. She wants somebody that appreciates her. Apparently, there's no appreciation here. He's just all about submission. He's a little selfish, and and she's done a whole lot. And not once has he mentioned or acknowledged how much she's done for him and that he loves her like that. So she perhaps needs to go on.
Yeah, he probably, you know, the saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I think that's what's gonna happen with him. I think she's gonna be gone for a while, you know, because you know, when you don't have the person in your face, that changes the scenery. And he's gonna feel bad about himself. He gonna be depressed. He gonna wish
And
he
the
had her
cold
back.
part about it is, that's true, quote unquote. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry.
It's dry, yep.
You know what's really going to happen to him? She set the standard. He ain't going to find nobody that can meet the standard.
Yep. Yep.
He's going to be looking and looking, but like nobody's going to meet the standard. And then you're going to wonder why. And then he's going to say, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe got a song called "Treat Her Like a Lady." It's
Treat
a
her
remix
like
of a song. Yeah, you got to take the
I
time
love
and treat
that
her like
song.
a lady. Yep. It's a remake of an old school song. I don't know who it's by. That's why I referenced Joe. But yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah, that's I know which one he talked about. I love it. And Joe breaks it down to everything you need to do and how you need to do it. And so my word of advice is, like I said, if you're not walking the same walk, talking the same talk, being good to one another, going in a direction that's going to elevate, why do all that kind of stuff? You're not the wife yet, girl. You're not the wife. You're not supposed to be throwing in the whole cow. Men too. You're not the husband yet. You both are trying to see if this is the way you want to mesh and go with one another. So to do all the benefits that a husband and a wife would do outside of the dating realm, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself, because just like in this situation, you're auditioning. So he got other people lined up. And just like that, like he said, if you don't fit the bill now, you ain't gonna fit the bill for the long haul. So he's not gonna choose you. He ain't even put a ring on it. He ain't even promised you in a year or two, we gonna do this. He ain't even talking that talk. But he's letting you know that everything you did, you didn't stop, and he has a problem with it. And you need to assume your position and be submissive and do these things if you want to be considered wife moving forward. Boy, bye. Okay? Bye. And I wish you a happy life. No disrespect, no pun intended. But boy, bye. You're doing too much. And when you get out here and find that you ain't gonna get nobody that's gonna be doing all that stuff for you like that, and you just got them on that little old whatever situation, and you being all selfish and self-centered, let's see how long that lasts. And don't be trying to run back to her, because by then she's gonna be found the love of her life. What you did is just gonna open up the door for the opportunity for her to have her blessings with her 80% dude. And you could take your 20%. Oh, it was said so well in that movie. Remember that movie, Tyler Perry's 80-20? 80-20.
Why Did I Get Married?
That's right. Why Did I Get Married? To
80-20. Jill Scott ate that role.
She ate that 80-20. And the way she said it, go girl, yes, played the hell out of that role. But I just, boy, I wish you the best. I really do. And lady, you need to go. And we revisit this question because it's so deep, it's so real. And you need to save all that. The next time moving forward, don't give all that. Don't lay all that out like that. Give them something to desire. Give them something to work towards. Give them something to want to be with the queen that you are. Not throwing everything out on the table. Why should they commit when the whole cow is free? I mean, why buy the cow and the milk is free? Everything, all kinds of milk, all kinds of bottles of milk, lined up free everywhere. He ain't gonna buy the dang old cow.
I'll put it this way. She could show that she's a submissive woman, but she don't have to give everything away.
Not everything.
So
I mean, she did everything. He even plucked the back door for the first time. Really? Really? She probably didn't let nobody pluck it. Nobody had ever plucked it, but he did.
well, of course he did, because he talking about it. That was one of his conquests. That's why he
And
put it in
she
there.
is auditioning. The word that sticks out to me is she is auditioning for the role.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna be facetious and say she was probably lying about that part. She probably had previous experience and wanted to just boost his ego a little bit.
You know what, JJ? When a woman say her back door ain't been plucked, it ain't been plucked. Well, you know what? He can tell. I mean, can a man tell if it's been plucked or not?
I mean, if it's been a while, it's gonna go back to. I mean, how would you know? You don't have you ain't been in there, so you don't know.
Oh, he don't have nothing to compare it to.
Go back to its original tightness if it's been a while.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, that's interesting. I guess if you had something to compare it to.
Really know unless it's
I mean, say like if you've been with this person, y'all been together for 2 years, 3 years, and you maybe tried it and you know what's going on with that. And then y'all break up and then you get back with them again. I guess you could tell the difference, right?
You could tell at that point, you're like, hey, wait a minute, my groove ain't right up in there.
Unless you go using a plug or something.
Oh yeah, plug. Ain't no plug.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, ain't no plug. Yeah, because they use the anal plugs to plug the anus. Well, I don't know, Cordell.
Just saying.
Yeah.
A lot of things on the internet, Donna.
If they even got vibrators.
They do. They have a lot of things on the internet, and
they got one that could be controlled with a remote control. So you give the remote control to your partner, and you out in the grocery store, and out of nowhere.
Anal plug or dildo.
Yeah, a plug. Yeah. They got the one that the anal, and they got the vaginal one. But yep, sure can. You just put it. Yep, you walk around with a random vibrator. You be in the middle of an interview and
and you give your mate the remote control.
The remote control, they can just activate it at any time.
Have you ever had a short lovemaking session that was so short you were trying to figure out what just happened? It was like, pow, it's over.
Is this the question?
It happens.
I mean, have you? Because some people say, the short love making sessions is okay at first. Like if you're just getting with somebody for the first time and you're excited and you're trying to learn this person or whatever, so it's forgivable.
You know, it depends on who you're talking to. Sometimes it ain't forgivable. It's like, oh, that's whack. Get away from me.
You wouldn't tell nobody it was whack, Cordell.
No, I wouldn't. She would, though, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't say it like that.
She would. Yes, she
would. Probably just wouldn't get another video.
I went to this man's house for the first time, and he was whack, girl. He didn't last.
Girl Talk, like TLC. Remember that song Girl Talk that came out in 2002?
Come on,
That's
man.
what they do. That's what y'all do. Y'all be talking. And I know the auntie talk because I used to be upstairs. And I would hear all the women, oh, he was whacking. Oh, dang, you playing all of that?
Putting all the business out there on the street.
Y'all got y'all hair salon talk too.
Yeah.
Well, we may do a little something like the barbershops, but
y'all got a hair salon talk.
But still, you don't want to tell too much. I mean, you don't want to.
Oh, well, you ain't going back to it. You ain't gonna revisit it. You're gonna say,
Yeah.
no,
I
I'm
mean,
done.
some people are having issues where they wondering why, you know, especially if they just got with a person for the first time. It's like, oh, that was just so short. He was a 2-minute man. He was just a 2-minute man. I don't know. I don't know. Well, are you gonna do it again, girl? I don't know. What if it's like that again? What am I going to do?
Well,
I don't want to
what
hurt
you're
his
supposed to
feelings.
do is you're
And I'm
supposed
trying to
to
get
edge.
satisfied. So I don't want to be wasting my time with no 2-minute man, right? You know, and some folks got that conversation like that. Like, and it's like, wow. But, you know, I'm just asking the question because there's a lot of different feedback that some would have for that. You know, some are just not, I don't care if it is the first time, they're not into that short lovemaking session was bam bam. And then it's like, especially if the other person has not gotten their satisfaction out of things. And this may be a person that only goes one round. So some only go one round. They not good for a second round. So if it's pow pow the first round and you already look over and they snoring and it's over, it's a wrap, and you laying up there like you ain't got nothing. That's a terrible feeling.
Out like a light.
They out and you sitting up there talking about where's my anal plug, where's my dildo,
Where's the cream filling?
You know what I'm saying? And then they wake up and you up there, zzz, and it's like, baby, what? Look, you left me hanging.
Gotta do what I
You
gotta
went
do.
to bed because you round one and it was quick. And so, well, babe, we gonna get it. Let me just get a little more. I'm just gonna go in and get a little more rest. And then, no, that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And then you got
he won't be back till
Stella that
next
goes
night.
to Jamaica and she gets with Winston and she wants to bring his ass back here because Winston then laid down the pipe.
Oh, now we going to how Stella got a groove back now. Dang. That's cold business.
Now Donna, you've been on the ship. I want a green card. Give me my green card.
Yeah, of course he gonna lay that
green
pipe
card.
on a green card.
I'm not falling in love with nobody over there in no third world or no talking about they need a car and all that. Check this out. I'm not the one. Because first of all, you questioning if they really into you like that. They make it seem like you're just the most beautiful person they ever laid eyes on, but they already have a whole thing in their mind that they trying to get over here. So, you know, you don't even know if
they got a whole new audition group next week, right?
Oh yeah, so do.
But some people go head on and they go on it because, you know, some people get paid good money for bringing folks over here and marrying them and stuff like that. I mean, I know some folks that has done some stuff and they, you know, and I think you say,
man, I want a green card man. Give me my green card man. I need my green card
California. Brother. I want to come to California. Well, because you got to be married for, I don't know, so many years, couple of years, something like that.
Probably, I don't know.
You got to be married for whatever, and a lot of them get married and then they just divorce and they've been here so many years. They could just go home from that point, but I'm good. No, I'm cool. But in that case, Stella fell in love with Winston, and it wasn't about a green card. It was about love. That's what they say, you know.
Well, that was the book version. But we know that was based on a true story, and there was another side story that went along with that.
Right.
Cringe. But yeah,
that was a good movie though.
It was a good movie though, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was real good. Well, you know, you guys, I gotta wrap it up. I just want to tell everyone that I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad that we had this fun to bond again and We do miss a couple of people that wasn't here tonight, but I understand we'll see them next time. John and possibly Ben and Sharon and who else? Gareth and whoever else. Like I say, you're always welcome to be a part of the Zoom or to be on live on YouTube and join in on our chat. That is wonderful. I can't get to the chat in real time, but after this recording, I can always go back, replay, and get involved with answering, acknowledging those of you who did leave some chat messages. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, I will be back on next Monday. I'll be running and zooming home real quick so I can get with y'all. I'd say anytime between 7:30 and 8. Look for me to be there. That will be Monday the 7th because, I mean, I could try to swing it on Sunday, but I'm going to be cutting it close.
Yeah, let's not
I have a little commute and I won't be getting off until after 5. So that'll be kind of.
Let's go for next Monday. I agree.
Yeah, Monday is a rough day for me, but I'm going to, you know, the only other thing with to try a Tuesday, but I don't like to go too far, you know, in between if I can help it. But it will be Monday for now. If that changes, I will be letting everyone know. Thank you guys for being so patient and understanding and all of that. But you know, everybody got to take a vacation. We always got to got to break the normalcy. But now tomorrow it's going to be reality because when that clock goes off at 5 in the morning, I'm going to be like, oh, Lord, you know? So, but anyway, thank you so much for being a part of what we do, Grown Folk Table Talk with Donna Smith. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Cordell, for being present tonight. We'll see everybody on next Monday, 7:30. Let's say between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Give me a chance to eat some noodles or something